Hello, I am Sam the Statman, coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to be ranking every player from the 1956 and 1962 Hall of Fame classes from worst to best. The reason I am doing these two Hall of Fame classes is because in 1956, two people were elected by the baseball writers. Then, in 1957, 1958, 1959, 1960, and 1961, no players were elected by the baseball writers. However, in 1962, two players were elected by the baseball writers, so I just decided to combine these two Hall of Fame classes and treat it like one Hall of Fame class and rank all these players from worst to best. But before we start the video, I have a very special announcement to make. MLB is coming back probably on July 24th. That is just huge news. I needed to say that because that is so important to me and probably to all of you. Because I like MLB and I really hoped it would come back, but I think they've the players and the owners and they've reached an agreement, so that is awesome. But with that out of the way, without further ado, let's get into it. Number 4, the worst player from this Hall of Fame class isn't actually that bad. It's Joe Cronin. In his career, Joe Cronin batted .301, .390, .468 with a 119 OPS plus. He had 2,285 hits, 170 homers, and 64.1 WAR. He was also a 7-time All-Star. Number 3 is Bob Feller. In his career, Bob Feller went .266 and .162 with it. 3.25 ERA and a 1.22 ERA plus. In 3,827 innings pitched, he struck out 2,581 batters, had a 1.316 WHIP, and 63.4 WAR. He also won a Triple Crown, was an 8-time All-Star, and won an ERA title. Reason I'm putting Bob Feller ahead of Joe Cronin is because Bob Feller missed lots of time to the WAR, 3 or 4 years to the WAR, and Joe Cronin didn't, and they both basically had the same amount of WAR, and that's why I'm putting Bob Feller ahead, because Bob Feller took 3 years off to the WAR, but if he'd played those three years, he definitely would have had much better stats than Joe Cronin overall. Number 2, a huge trailblazer, Hank Greenberg. In his career, Hank Greenberg batted .313, .412, .605 with a 159 OPS plus. He had 1,628 hits, 331 homers, and 55.7 WAR. He was also a 2-time MVP and a 5-time All-Star. The reason I'm putting him ahead of Bob Feller is sort of because he did miss a bit more time to the WAR. They both missed a lot of time to the WAR, but Hank Greenberg did miss a bit more time. But that's not the it's not the big reason. It's because the big reason is that Hank Greenberg was a huge trailblazer for Jewish players like Sandy Koufax. He's not the greatest Jewish baseball player of all time, as you could find out in one of my other videos. That's what I think. I don't think he's the greatest Jewish baseball player of all time. I do think, however, he's the second greatest Jewish baseball player of all time, and definitely probably the first great Jewish MLB player in history. Maybe he really paved the way for guys like Sandy Koufax, and that's why I'm putting him ahead of Bob Feller. Feller might have had better stats, but he wasn't as big of a trailblazer as Hank Greenberg. However, the number 1 on this list might be more of a trailblazer than Hank Greenberg, and probably is. Number 1 is Jackie Robinson. How big of a trailblazer was Jackie Robinson? It's insane how big of a trailblazer Jackie Robinson was. In his career, Jackie Robinson batted .311, .409, .474 with a 132 OPS plus. He had 1,518 hits, 137 homers, 197 stolen bases, and 61.7 WAR. He also won the MVP award, the Rookie of the Year award, was a 6-time All-Star, and won a batting title. The reason I'm putting Jackie Robinson at number 1 is because for 2 reasons. One, he was a huge trailblazer and paved the way for other great black baseball players like Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. But the big reason is because you know how Hank Greenberg and Bob Feller lost time because of the WAR. Well, Jackie Robinson maybe missed more time, but not because of the WAR. Because he was the first ever black player in like decades, so he spent like a lot of time playing in the Negro Leagues instead of playing in the MLB. And let's say instead of playing in the Negro Leagues, he spends those seasons in the MLB. Now, he only played 10 seasons, and he had 61.7 WAR. He debuted when he was 28. Let's say he debuts when he's like 22 or something, 21. He might have like 100 WAR in his career, and that's why I'm putting him at number 1. I mean, Greenberg and Feller missed a lot of time, but they really can't compete with how much time Robinson lost. Robinson could have had like 100 WAR, and that's just amazing. It's really sad that he wasn't allowed in the MLB before that time, but he's definitely the number 1 on this list because he was just not allowed in the MLB before 1947, and because of that, he just missed so many seasons. And just think about what he could have done in those seasons. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe. Bye!